of the whole world. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Lakshmi Narasimha Swamy ki jai, Radha Govinda ki jai, Tulsi Maharani ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25, and Text 1. Śaunaka uvacha Kapilaha Tattva Sankhyatha Kapilastattva Sankhyatha Bhagavan Atmamayaya Bhagavan Atmamayaya Jataha Swayam Ajaha Saksha Jata Swayam Aja Saksha Atma Prajnaptaye Nunam Atma Prajnaptaye Nunam Śaunaka uvacha Kapilastattva Sankhyatha Bhagavan Atmamayaya Jata Swayam Ajakshaksha Atma Prajnaptaye Nunam. Śaunaka uvacha. Śrī Śaunaka said, Kapilaha, Lord Kapila, Tattva, of the truth, Sankhyatha, the expounder, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Atmamayaya, by his internal potency, Jataha, took birth, Swayam, himself, Ajaha, unborn, Saksha, in person, Atma Prajnaptaye, to disseminate transcendental knowledge, Nunam, for the human race. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Śrī Śaunaka said, although he is unborn, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took birth as Kapila Muni by his internal potency. He descended to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of the whole human race. Please repeat. Śrī Śaunaka said, although he is unborn, the Supreme Personality of Godhead took birth as Kapila Muni. By his internal potency, he descended to disseminate transcendental knowledge for the benefit of the whole human race. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The word Atma Prajnaptaye indicates that the Lord descends for the benefit of the human race to give transcendental knowledge. Material necessities are quite sufficiently provided for in the Vedic knowledge, which offers a program for good living conditions and gradual elevation to the platform of goodness. In the mode of goodness, one's knowledge expands. On the platform of passion, there is no knowledge, for passion is simply an impetus to enjoy material benefits. On the platform of ignorance, there is no knowledge and no enjoyment, but simply life almost like that of animals. The Vedas are meant to elevate one from the mode of ignorance to the platform of goodness. When one is situated in the mode of goodness, he is able to understand knowledge of the self, transcendental knowledge. This knowledge cannot be appreciated by any ordinary man. Therefore, since a disciplic succession is required, this knowledge is expounded either by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself or by his bona fide devotee. Śaunaka Muni also states here that Kapila, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, took birth or appeared simply to appreciate and disseminate transcendental knowledge. Simply to understand that one is not matter but spirit soul, Aham Brahmasmi, I am by nature Brahman, is not sufficient knowledge for understanding the self and its activities. One must be situated in the activities of Brahman. Knowledge of those activities is explained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Such transcendental knowledge can be appreciated in human society but not in animal society, as clearly indicated here by the word Nunam for the human beings. Human beings are meant for regulated life. By nature there is regulation in animal life also, but that is not like the regulative life as described in the scriptures or by the authorities. Human life is regulated life, not animal life. In regulated life only can one understand transcendental knowledge. The sense the Bhaktivedanta Purport Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We are beginning a new chapter today, chapter 25, the glories of devotional service. So here we see Śaunaka Rishi, who is the leader of the sages assembled at Naimisharanya and who are hearing from Suta Goswami. So Śaunaka, he is now addressing Suta Goswami, Kapilas Tattva Sankhyata Bhagavan Atmamayaya. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavan Kapila, Lord Kapila, he has appeared Jataha Swayam Ajaha. He is saying Jataha, born, and he is saying Ajaha, unborn. next to each other is saying Jataha Swayam Ajaha Sakshad. The original person, he has descended as Kapila Muni in order to explain Sankhyata Tattva Sankhyata. He has descended to explain the Tattva and Atma Prajnaptayenunam, and to disseminate this knowledge, this transcendental knowledge in the human society. So, we will see further in these shlokas the glories of the devotional service to the Supreme Lord. So, Kapila, he has descended into this world in order to explain the Tattva. Tattva means absolute truth. And why the Lord has descended into this world? To explain this truth. Because in this world, absolute truth is not known. Here, everybody knows what is known as relative truth. Relative truth means that which is dependent on one more truth, and it is temporary. Absolute truth means doesn't depend on anybody else, anything else, and it is eternal or permanent truth. Once somebody learns absolute truth, so that is always accompanies him life after life. But relative truths will be forgotten, and then again one has to start his life from LKG, UKG, as soon as he changes his body, and then he has to advance to higher levels of education. So the whole education, the universities, colleges, whatever we see, they're all simply studying the relative truths. The truths that they can understand by observation, by experimentation, logic and reasoning. These are the relative truths. So, because people do not understand anything higher than these relative truths, the Supreme Lord descends into this world in order to disclose, in order to disseminate Tattva Sankhyata. He himself descends in order to explain the absolute truth. So Prabhupada is here quoting that there are three types of categories of people are there. People who are in Sattva Guna, they will be able to understand knowledge. They know the relative truths as they are, and they are capable of understanding transcendental knowledge. Passionate people, they also know some truths, and they are always chasing achievements in life, material achievements in life, so that they can feel happy and enjoy those benefits. Whereas Sattva-guna person, he doesn't work hard just for enjoying the benefits by neglecting everything else. He focuses on working in such a way that he can advance in transcendental knowledge. And then ignorance means he has no knowledge and no enjoyment also. He simply lives like an animal, driven by the impulses of the nature, satisfying those impulses on a day-to-day basis. This tamoguna, they think if I can fill up my belly with lot of food, and if I can sleep more and more, that is the perfection of life. They feel very happy about it. So these are the categories. In all these categories, there is certain happiness they feel. It's not that tamoguna person doesn't feel happiness. He is happy if he can sleep 14-15 hours without any interruption. 12-13 hours without any interruption. He is also happy. And passionate person is always about achieving something and then showcasing it and enjoying the benefits of it. Sattva-guna person works without any attachment. He does his duty as a matter of duty without any attachments to it. So he doesn't go through any emotional turmoils even if something goes wrong. So these are the three states of a person that he can. Of course, a combination of all this is possible. So Prabhupada is explaining that the Vedic knowledge is revealed to the human society because people can be gradually elevated from the mode of ignorance to the mode of Sattva-guna. This body can be operated in any mode. It's like, a car is there, you can operate it in any gear, first gear, second gear, third gear. So similarly, this body can also be operated in any mode of this nature. But by birth, somebody gets a certain combination, either predominantly a ignorant mentality, predominantly a passionate mentality, or predominantly a sattvic mentality. In this age, that kind of a sattvic mentality is very difficult to see. Mostly people are in ignorance and passionate. So, but they are not denied, they are not condemned. They were given opportunities to gradually elevate to Sattva-guna. Because at least in Sattva-guna, you will have some stable happiness. In all the other modes, you may be happy today, but it can flip to the other side anytime. For example, a passionate person achieving many things, very smart, this, that, but then one day if something goes wrong and his whole happiness flips, he's no more, he becomes very upset and dull, and actually sometimes they cannot come out of this cycle and then it goes down spiral. So these dangers are there with these modes. Even in Sattva-guna also, yes, it is more stable than the other modes, but even in Sattva-guna also, the other modes can also, try to attack this balanced sattvic life, and again he can also get disturbed. In Kali Yuga, these three modes, the fighting between these three modes is very strong, very strong. Kali Sattva Haram. This Kali Yuga, even if somebody wants to maintain Sattva-guna, it is Sattva Haram. The whole age is like that. It takes away gradually the Sattva-guna in people. People will not be able to practice such nice, finer qualities which are exhibited in Sattva-guna. What are the qualities of Sattva-guna? Satya, Dhamma, Samo, Shaucham, Shantirarjavam. These qualities, 8 qualities are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, beginning with truthfulness. Even if somebody wants to maintain truthfulness, in this age it is not easy, not at all easy. And then controlling of the mind, controlling of the senses, being very simple in his lifestyle, and then he must be a devoted person. He should believe astikyam, he should believe in God, and then so like that you see these qualities are mentioned. So to come to this platform of these qualities and to maintain them day after day, it is in Kali Yuga, it's not easy, not at all easy. But otherwise, the Vedic knowledge is meant for gradually bringing people to the platform of goodness. And when somebody is situated in that platform, then he can understand what is transcendental knowledge. When you go and tell a sattvic person, you are not this body, but you are a spirit soul, he will be able to appreciate. And if you go to other people and explain, you are not this body, you are a spirit soul, they have no idea. Their entire focus is on body, and then if you go and tell you are not this body, they are not going to accept this. So we are caught up in this knowledge only, understanding of this world, the relative truths inside this world. What are the laws that are operating in this world? The whole education is that, and this is called Jada Vidya. But the Supreme Lord descends in order to explain a different kind of a Vidya that is called transcendental knowledge, Adhyatmik Vidya. Both the Vidyas ultimately comes from Krishna only. If people, a scientist or somebody is very eager to discover a certain working of the nature, a certain law of this nature, ultimately Krishna gives him the intelligence, and then he happens to discover it, and then he may get a Nobel Prize for it, but ultimately it is coming from the Supreme Lord. Both the Vidyas. But then in the Jada Vidya there is no connection, apparent connection with Krishna. It is not visible. That is Jada Vidya. But whereas Adhyatmik Vidya means it is about Krishna. Actually, absolute truth means Krishna. The supreme absolute truth means Krishna. That's all. Krishna is the absolute truth. When we say truth, we think it's in impersonal way, but actually absolute truth is a personality. So absolute truth is a beautiful personality, and that is Krishna. So sitting here in this world, one cannot understand the absolute truth. That same personality has to reveal. That's why he comes down. You cannot understand a person just by looking at him. We keep looking at many people in our day-to-day course of life. Just by looking at them, you will not be able to understand. Little knowledge you may get, superficial, external features you can understand. Similarly, the Supreme Lord's external features are there in this world, manifested by external energy. Those little external features probably you can understand, but you cannot understand the complete personality. So that's why the Supreme Lord, he descends. Atma Prajnaptaye Nunam. He descends and spreads this knowledge in the human society. Prabhupada is also mentioning this knowledge is not meant for the animals. It is meant for the human being. Now what is the difference between these two? In the Purport, Prabhupada is explaining human life means regulated life. Then one may say, no, even animals are also regulated. They are also regulated. Yes, the nature, the material nature regulates them in their eating, sleeping, mating and defending. Then what is the difference? The human being is supposed to regulate these four activities, eating, sleeping, mating and defending, as indicated in the Vedic knowledge, as indicated by the Supreme Lord, Radha Govinda Ki Jai, as indicated by the authorities. This is human life. Regulation by the Shastra. This is human life. And regulation by the nature, material nature, external energy, that is animal life. Actually, people who are chasing the material enjoyment and happiness, who are not at all regulated, they're actually, they harm themselves completely because they don't even follow the natural regulations. Like yesterday, I happened to go to one university. All those students, they sleep only by 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the after crossing the midnight, around 2 a.m. or sometimes they are 3 a.m. like that. And 3 a.m. is the time when some of our brahmacharis already woken up and they have taken their baths, they are ready to chant their rounds. And so both of them are actually, in one sense, they are human beings. But you see the regulation by Shastra. And the other category, they are not even regulated by the nature. By using their freedom, they have become unregulated. Why? In the nature, if you see all the birds and animals, they come back to their nests, they come back to their places, and they all sleep by 8 o'clock, 8:30, in the deep forests, in their native abodes. All these animals and birds and all that, they rest by, by 6 o'clock you'll see it's all kind of silent, unless there are some sounds from some other kidas. And you see everything is, they all take rest. And then they all get up early in the morning. You can see those regulations. So human being means he should voluntarily accept the regulations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. The regulations which are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, the regulations which are mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam are the Tattva Sankhyaata as given by Devahuti Kapila's Tattva Sankhyaata, Sankhya philosophy. In any case, all the three are ultimately, they glorify transcendental devotional service to Krishna. Unless one comes to that platform of transcendental devotional service to Krishna. Transcendental means not disturbed by any of these three, Satvaguna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. Not get mixed up by any of these things. That is called transcendental. So while executing our devotional service, one should only take shelter of transcendental knowledge to execute it. If he mixes up other kinds of knowledge, then that is not a pure devotional service. So that's why the Lord, actually it's not easy to understand what is pure devotional service. Many people practice devotional service. They they approach God, but they approach with a certain material benefits in mind. They render devotional service with a certain benefits in mind. They come to seek God's help in order to get some material benefits. This is called mixing their own modes into the devotional service, which is transcendental in nature. He mixes his own modes into it. If he is a passionate person, he prays for big achievements. And if he is a sattvic person, he is interested about liberation. Not necessarily a love of loving Krishna, but just liberation from the miseries of this world. Tamogana person, generally they may not even come here, but even if he comes, his focus is on his own bodily needs, his own belly or on sleeping. This is the kind of a scenario. So he is praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is actually transcendental devotional service. Of course, the prayer should be guided, but if he mixes his wishes into that, then it becomes polluted. So that's why one has to be, they have to carefully render without mixing any of his motivations or his desires into his devotional service. How do we do this? It is not easy. So that's why the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he descends. Kapilas Tattva Sankhya, he descends and he explains how to perform our devotional service without mixing any of these modes. How to do pure devotional service. That's how the Supreme Lord comes, or his bona fide representative comes, like Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, he came to this, our world here, this civilization. And he is the one who revealed the unique, pure devotional path. It's an ancient path, as expounded by Kapila, as expounded by all the authorities, by Krishna. But then this we have forgotten, so he has descended to explain this. I remember in one interview, I was explaining that we should pray to the Lord Almighty without mixing any of our motivations or our desires. Actually, the interviewer, she is a practicing Muslim, and immediately she said, "How is this possible, Swamiji? You are praying to God and you don't want to ask anything. How is this possible?" Actually, it is not easy to understand. Everybody thinks God is meant for supplying some things to me, meant for enhancing my happiness, and that's all, that's the relationship. But Krishna comes down here, Kapila comes down here to explain what relationship we can have with God, what kind of an ecstatic relationship that we can have. This is what the Lord descends, or the Guru descends to make us aware of such possibilities. So Prabhupada is the Vishwa Guru, the Acharya, who has revealed pure devotional path in this age. And particularly, he brought the simple and sublime process as given by Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is called devotional service. When you chant and hear one mantra, you are rendering transcendental devotional service to Krishna. You are worshipping Lord Chaitanya. So when we are chanting and hearing, when we are doing that, don't mix up these modes. It has to be done for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. Then that becomes transcendental, pure devotional service. How can I give pleasure to Krishna? How can I give pleasure to Krishna? So Prabhupada has given this formula of chanting and hearing the very same sound. So as soon as some sound is produced, the same sound has to be heard and an attention has to be given. So if somebody can give attention to that hearing, he is directly associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So Krishna is so kind, he made himself easily available. His association is so easily available. Just utter this mantra, given by Lord Chaitanya. As per the direction of Guru Prabhupada, you are in the association of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya. So this is the beauty. We will not be able to understand this path of dharma on our own. Only Mahajanas, only great devotees, Prabhupada, they know. So to be it's a rare opportunity, great fortune to be in this age when Prabhupada was available to us, when Lord Chaitanya is just a few hundred years back. Not an ordinary time this is. It's a great opportunity. Devotees should enhance their pure devotional service. They should chant, they should try to hear, and they should also read Srimad Bhagavatam. So by the combination of these two, Bhagavatam and chanting nicely, each helping other, one day we will be able to perfect our chanting and offering pleasure to Krishna. Any questions here? Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.